XRP and XLM are literally about to pull some crazy moves here. We're down to the wire. And this video is going to be some real analysis, bigger picture stuff. This is not your normal market update, let me tell you that.
I'ma keep the case clean, I won't shroud it in no love. Getting laced at the seams, turning powder into dust. I need space for my team, it's getting crowded in the club. Now I walk with a goddess, she a full course meal while I...
This is a market update specifically on XRP. As you can see at the top here, I got XRP USD, XRP dominance, XRP to Bitcoin, XRP to Ethereum, XRP dominance to others dominance. And then I got the same thing going with XLM. The reason being is because we are on the precipice of some absolute huge fireworks as far as XLM and XRP go. And we've been crushing these peer-to-peer trades and trades over the past, I think it's been 2 months, literally 2 months. And now we need to prepare, and we're cutting it to the wire. We need to prepare as far as our game plan of getting back into XRP and XLM and when we're going to do that. And kind of spoiler alert, it's going to be pretty soon here. But what you want to see is this. I developed this whole new system. I'm going to pull it up right now as far as our game plan. So if you're a Stargate VIP member, the first 100, congratulations, you got in before the gate closed. You guys are going to get this PDF that I'm working on, and it is next level stuff. What inspired me to do this was talking to you guys over the past couple of weeks now. I mean, I'm hopping on calls, Zoom calls we got Vicky in Australia, we got Chris in Australia, Ryan, we got Maria in Sweden, we got John in Japan, we got people across the world. And after talking to everybody, I've identified the areas where we need to dial in on. So tonight at 7:30 p.m. New York time, I want to make sure that everybody can try their best to make that. If not, it's all good because we have the replay. But tonight we are going to get everybody situated, and the theme of the group session tonight is getting you properly onboarded and set up for your best success being at Stargate. Because now that you're in and the gates closed, we're gonna get ready to prepare for takeoff here, and we got to make sure everybody's strapped in and buckled up and situated with what they need to be able to have a successful launch. And this is one of the key pieces of that puzzle here. So this might be a longer video, but it's jam-packed full of value, and we're going to dive into the charts, but I need to explain this methodology real quick. So Stargate's portfolio rebalancing and reconstruction portfolio methodology and trading strategy. What inspired me to make this is talking to you guys and really needing a plan. And I think I've identified a holy grail of a plan. And I don't know, and I have not seen anybody else do this type of stuff, man. Definitely, it was just random thoughts just flowing into my head, and it really all just came together as far as what our next course of action is here. So after looking at XLM, XRP chart on the higher time frames, this also inspired me to really kind of buckle up and get this document done to get to you guys, because this is not a drill. And we've done very successful peer-to-peer trades that are up right now. So if there's gonna be a market dump, now's the time that we would want to get back into our coins, because the coins that gained faster than our XRPs, XLMs will come back down just as fast. So we're prepping for that scenario, and we're prepping for other scenarios as well too. In this document, as we go down here on it, I'm making an exit plan and strategy based off of 3 if this then that scenarios for the mini moon and the mega moon. So that's what we're calling it. And then this was the same 2023 Stargate plan that is in the Discord to kind of explain the peer-to-pairs and how we go about it, everything like that, some resources and stuff as far as things that I've been seeing in narratives and dates. But what I'm adding is this, and this is like the holy grail and new methodology that we're going to be kind of doing. And I have a mock portfolio kind of up here as far as how we can see this in full kind of play here, like in action. So if I pull this up, our core asset we're only going to really dial it down and focus in on our core kind of stuff here. And this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just showing you exactly what the Stargate team is doing here. And this is not something that, it's hard coded at XRP. No, you can substitute whatever token yours is. This is just our opinion as far as what we're doing. But you can substitute in a different ticker for these things, but your guys are going to get this PDF and guys can really bust it down as far as what you specifically think for yourself is a good strategy based off this methodology. So our core asset, so our number one coin, our number one holding is going to be XRP, and we're going to use it as our base currency, our stable value, our core currency, comparatively to what some use like Bitcoin or gold or USD for in a portfolio. That's going to be our base currency, because we don't want to sell out of XRP into US dollars, right? And that's one of the biggest things as well too. Like, we're treating our portfolio and methodology as if we're already in the year 2025, 2027, right? So that's what we're doing, because we want to stack as much XRP, our core asset, and then we want to stack as much of our complementary asset, which is going to be XLM. So XLM is going to be used as our complementary currency and main pair-to-pair swap asset. Think of it as the silver to gold. So XRP, number one holding, it's going to make up the core of our basket. It's going to be our base currency. We're never going to sell into something like sell mostly into USD. If anything, we're going to consolidate coins. It's going to be back into XRP, our core asset, and then our complementary asset, XLM. XLM is used as our complementary currency and main pair-to-pair swap asset. So going back and forth between our core asset and our complementary asset as far as trying to grow those to big kind of holdings and quantities without having to add extra money in. Because how we're going to play that is, you never see, there's always one coin that outperforms the other. And we're going to be able to track that as far as with the Stargate strategy, the signals, the charts, higher time frame stuff, really getting a bigger picture here and really dialing in the focus, especially going into March and April. Very high alert key time frame as far as a lot of events and catalysts, and we do not want to get caught without our precious XRP and XLM. So that's why pretty soon, within the next couple of days here, we're going to be implementing this strategy here at Stargate. So I wanted to let you guys know beforehand. We have not yet done it, but we are going to be doing it within the next couple of days. So our third portfolio holding, our hedge asset, XCN, is going to be used as our hedge currency and complementary pair-to-pair swap asset. So XCN is our supercharged hedge. Usually inverse correlation, has a lot more X multiples as far as like gain multiples compared to XRP, XLM. Like we could see, something like the other day where chain goes up 80%, XLM, XRP stay stable, and that's going to be used as our hedge currency and our complementary pair swap asset. So in the event that happens and XCN outperforms both, we can then convert a little bit back into either one, whichever one's the least kind of strong, and accumulate more of that coin, as well as the X factor. So there's a lot of potential rumors coming up for XCN and a lot of catalysts. So that's another reason as well too, along with the fact that it has the X, we have the X. So like those X coins, especially going into this ISO 222 upgrade, are going to be integral a part with this new system. And there's only a limited amount of those. There's less than 10, let me tell you that. So that is our hedge asset. That's our number third kind of weighting in the portfolio ratio. Then we have our concierge asset, which is going to be HBAR. And that's going to be used as our main backup for pair-to-pair swap assets when all the top three look weak collectively. So if all these look weak and we're seeing HBAR 10-day buy now against XCN, XLM, XRP, HBAR is going to be our concierge asset, our main backup pair-to-pair swap asset to use for the pair-to-pair swaps. That could be a coin that, it could be quant, it could be algo. This is not hard coded. It's definitely up to whatever your current bags are currently, as well as what you feel as if has the most utility, use case, what you like the most, what you see the most about that coin, and what has sold you specifically on that coin. So then we have our first rounding out the pie asset. And for us, that's going to be Algorand. So Algorand's ISO, it's with the big boys, piloted projects with the government and more. Algo, we already know, has kind of the seal of approval by many of the big boys. They have the big boy ties. So that's our first rounding out the pie asset, because, you know, just having XRP, XLM, XCN, HBAR is great, but like, it seems like something's missing, right? We need to round out that pie, and Algorand, I think, does lead in that kind of case right there. So now we got our second rounding out of the pie asset, and we're doing Filecoin. It's going to be, and I haven't updated like kind of the, what's it called? Like these like kind of minor details here. I wanted to get this out immediately because the basis of what I'm saying here is all holding true. Like all the little minutia details as far as like right here it says XCN for AVAX. Don't worry about that right now. We're going to get that cleaned up. But I just want to get this concept across right now because time is of the essence. I'm seeing the XRP charts, the XLM charts, and they don't call me Robbie Ripple for no reason. I got a knack for smelling out the XRP run, and boy, let me tell you, I'm feeling like it's coming pretty soon here. Same with XLM. I feel like they're beach balls underwater right now, and we want to catch them before they kind of have their first pop, right? So our second rounding out of the pie asset, Filecoin, interplanetary file system, big boy ties, piloted projects with government and more, and they're a different classification as far as in the digital asset space. So they're with file storage, and we've seen file storage perform well. And one thing we can do is as well too is we're gonna rebalance every month or every couple of months into coins that have the narrative kind of working for them. And right now, I believe that XTZ, Filecoin, Algorand have the narrative working for them going into March, April. That is why I have these. But when April rolls around, we're going to have to rebalance again. So nothing's ever set in stone. This is just what I'm seeing here for the rest of this quarter, and as well as just what I'm seeing here as far as coins that have utility and value as we head into this new phase of the market. So Filecoin takes our second rounding out of the pie. Then we have our third rounding out of the pie asset, which is XTZ. So we've seen them, partner with the California government for digital IDs for the whole state for the DMV. We see them tied up with many other big boys. They have the X. They've been here for a while. So XTZ is definitely, and then they just partnered with Google Cloud. So they just partnered with Google Cloud. So they're definitely in the game. And Tezos is our third rounding out of the pie asset. Our fourth and final rounding out of the pie asset is going to be Avalanche. That's going to be our smart contract, our main kind of smart contract platform. I would say, like, if we were talking about Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche, Cardano, Polkadot, like, I'm picking Avalanche out of that. So Avalanche is our main smart contract asset. It covers that kind of classification for rounding out the pie. So that's our fourth and final rounding out of the pie. And you might be wondering about the color coding. We'll get to that in a second. So our ninth kind of holding is our basket. So it's like a basket of triple, double, large cap assets. So looking for, like, these aren't going to be grand slam gems where they go 1,000x now, but they could pull a 10, a 20, a 30, maybe a 50. So our basket of triple double large cap assets like XDC, Quant, Gala, Energy Web Token. And then we have our 10th, which is our basket of home run medium cap assets, our CELOs, our flares, our IOTAs, VeChains, and flows, kind of rounding out our classification, hitting different sectors of the market like CELO, and then Flare, interoperability, then IOTA, Internet of Things, VeChain, supply chain, flow, NFTs, and then Gala, media. And so this is very, very strategic here. It's not just throwing kind of stuff in a bucket and just kind of taking a guess. Very strategic as far as how we're picking this. So then we have our 11th, our basket of Grand Slam gems, our low cap assets, our Songbirds, our Velos, our Conflux, our Flokies. And that kind of wraps it up as far as what our portfolio is going to consist of. Then number 12, we have our day trading dog's treat. So use these funds, which will, one, park some money in cash for a big market dip you can buy spot into, and two, for day trading and accumulating more money consistently on a daily basis for more spot holdings and living expenses or savings fund. So $1,000 to $5,000 for that, $5,000 max at a time. The more money you have on those leverage exchanges, man, the more risk you're going to take on. Believe me that. So 1 to 5,000 max, 5,000 max at a time. So this color legend for the above, right? The color legend is used. So gold, right? Gold is our kind of gold core asset holdings. And I'm putting 10,000, 100,000 to 300,000, into those type of gold up here. So we have it broken down into a legend here. So I put the different kind of numbers here as far as 10,000 or 100,000 or 300,000, because everybody's starting with something different, right? So I'm just trying to give a basis for kind of all different types of viewpoints here. So where do I hold these assets / security measures for them? So you keep gold in a vault, right? Put these on your ledger. They are quick to move on to exchanges regardless. 100% of it's going to be on the ledger. Then silver. So where do you keep your silver, which is the concierge coin, which was HBAR. So 5,000 to 50,000 to 150,000 for silver. So gold is 10,000, 100,000, 300,000, silver 5,000 to 50,000, 150,000. So it's in between gold and green is like $1,000 to 10,000 to 30,000. And those are like your buy and hold and zoom out strategy in the event you get one that 50x's before a mega moon for your core assets. So the reason why we're spreading out like this is because it was the best thing that I did back in the last bull market. Spreading out into Ethereum, into VeChain, into all these different coins before the market really took off was the best thing I did, because then I was able to accumulate so much more XLM and XRP based off of that, because XLM and XRP didn't move as fast. Now I feel like we're in a different time, kind of a different market, whereas I think there's the possibility for that to happen again, but I don't want to bank on it this time. So for those, these are the green is 33% on ledger and 66% on exchanges. These are assets we sell in the event of a black swan or a market correction. Because one of the questions is as well too is, well, if we have it on the ledger, how are we going to sell if the market has a black swan, or it says we have these huge sell signals? Well, we have 66% of our green assets, which are going to be on the exchange, and 33% on the ledger. We can sell off for 66% of the coins on the exchanges, because these are the assets we sell in the event of a black swan market correction. We don't sell our gold or our silver, only our green backed digital assets. So these green colored ones are ones that, are nice to have, but we don't care as much about. So in the event of us needing to dump for, cash and kind of get out of the market quickly, we can just get rid of these and not really have any scratch on our body and care, because we're still holding our gold and our silver. At the end of the day, you need to think is like, if I were to lose it all, which coins would I at least would want to? These are your gold and your silver ones. The ones that, like XCZ is nice, but I wouldn't be mad if I didn't have it, right? But it definitely is a nice complementary kind of coin. It's a rounding out of the pie. But in the event that the whole market's going to go, I'd rather get rid of my XCC, Filecoin, and Algorand than these three, because you don't want to sell out entirely thinking you're going to get smart and sell out of all your holdings and then buy back in with everything at the bottom. It could be a fake out. The exchanges could go down. There's so many kind of unknowns in that scenario. So this gets rid of that unknown. So it covers the point of you're still exposed to your gold and silver assets, as well as you're still able to take some off the top there, as far as these 66 being on the exchange, or 70%, whichever percentage is good for you. And then you could sell quickly since on the exchange, and then you still have just a little bit on the ledger tucked away. Then the red ones are ones you don't touch. That's why it's red. So you keep these gems set in place and don't touch them often, because you may lose them. Check these weekly for trend and price and outperformance. These are your lottery tickets. 66% on exchanges, 33% on the ledger. So you could even do 100% on the exchanges for these. These ones, the moral of the story with this is the red ones are ones that you're not going to be basically trading in and out of often. These are the ones that you kind of go back to in the middle of a bull run and see kind of where they ended up. So these ones we don't really pay as much attention to. Maybe we check in on them on a weekly basis and see how they're moving. The green ones, maybe we check in twice a week. The gold and silver ones, we're checking those on a daily basis, making sure our babies are safe. So that's how we're going about it here. And our exit plan and strategy based off of 3 if this and that scenarios, this will be done for later today, or it'll be done later today. So we also have the group session tonight. And now I'm going to end this video and I'm going to start the deep technical analysis into XRP and XLM, because now I'm going to show you what I'm seeing as far as we could be at a huge moment. So I'm excited to share this, and now let's dive into it. Also, before I forget, if you wanted this document, unfortunately, it's only available for the people who got in the Discord, the first 100 here. We closed off the gate a couple days ago, but you can still come join the Discord. We do have free kind of channels in here as far as, and a ton of value. You get all the education, all the welcome to Stargate. You get the chat room. So definitely join the Discord. I'll put the link in the bio and come into there. In the meantime, you can go to the website, stargate-ventures.com. I'll put the link in the bio there, and you can join the waitlist. So you just come to the homepage, click that, and just enter your info, and you'll be on the waitlist, and it's first come, first serve. So definitely don't hesitate on that. Get on the waitlist so you claim your spot and get as close to the top as possible for when we open up the gates back again. And that still remains to be unseen. Probably not until April 1st. If we do have some people drop off during that kind of in the meantime, during that time, then we will let people in one by one, but only if people drop off. And I don't expect many or even any to drop off. So definitely get yourself on the wait list. So now let's go into the charts, and now I'm going to show you what I'm seeing. And I almost forgot. So this is what that kind of plan, that rebalancing portfolio reconstruction methodology and trading strategy, this is what it would look like in kind of theory and in action. Example, Stargate methodology. We have the allocation here. So in that scenario, and let me put it side by side. So we have XRP sitting at 38% of the whole entire portfolio. Makes sense. It's our core asset. We have XLM sitting at 18%. Makes sense. It's our complementary asset. So XRP and XLM alone make up then more than 50% of the whole entire portfolio. And that's because of the amount of documents that we've seen with only XRP and Stellar on it. So that makes sense. Then we have 11% XCN. Makes sense. It's our hedge asset, and it's our complementary pair-to-pair swap asset, and it has more upside potential, so we don't need as much in the percentage for it, but we're going to be swapping back and forth between these three in purple, which is our concierge asset HBAR sitting at 7.83%. So you're seeing it play out in theory as far as, top 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, just like it played out here. And then we have others. So others consists of 25% of the entire portfolio. So that's our green here. That's our red here. And then if you scroll down, you still have a good portfolio, and you can, shrink this down by 10x or put it up by 10x as far as like if we're looking at the kind of quality coins and utility you have in here on top of how much of each coin you have. So even if you were to say 94,000 or 9,400 and $900 and 570 and 390, you're still making out pretty well as far as a good portfolio construction, hitting all the kind of things that we look at here under the dataonomy framework of classification of digital assets proposed by Goldman Sachs. We hit all these. So we hit the digital currencies class, we hit the blockchain infrastructures class, we hit the digital asset applications class, and the on-chain derivatives. We hit all of it, as well as we're hitting the certain ratios that make sense for us. So that's how we're playing it here, and that's how you would see it in action. So very excited to give you guys access to this PDF, and I'm gonna just make sure I put the bow and ribbon on it. But I'm pumped as far as now we got a clear defined strategy for you guys to really kind of look at and comprehend and kind of ask questions about. And because this was all in my head before, but now that I jotted it down on some paper and got it kind of nice and pretty and organized guys up here and kind of doing this video explaining the methodology and the mechanics and psychology behind it. Yeah, definitely. I hope this makes you guys feel a little better as far as a good kind of game plan as far as a portfolio rebalancing, reconstruction goes. This is what we're doing here at Stargate, the team. If you have any questions as far as this document goes and clarifications on certain things and what certain things mean, definitely get those questions ready for tonight for the 7:30 p.m. group session. We're going to go over this, as well as we're going to go over getting everybody properly onboarded for the best success at Stargate going into this whole entire year. So we're going to get everybody cleaned up nice. We got the double white gloves ready. And yeah, if you didn't bite the bullet, you didn't get into the gate before it closed, join that wait list. Get your name at the top there, as well as join the Discord in the meantime. It's free. You can come chat in the general room. Looking forward to you guys coming in there. And I'm gonna stop this video here because it's gone pretty long, and there's a whole lot of thought and value into this, and then I will dive into the XLM and XRP charts in my follow-up video that I'm going to release after this. So if you haven't already, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, get updated in real time when I drop that video, because it's going to be huge. I'm seeing a lot of big things here, and yeah, you definitely want to get notified right when I drop that. So leave a comment as well too, what you think about the Stargate's methodology. You think it's a good idea, bad idea, or what are some flaws in it, or what do you like about it? Let me know in the comments. We'd love that feedback. And I will see you guys in the next video where we're going to cover XRP and XLM in depth. I'll see you guys there.